Obamacare, really all the bad stuff start in 2014? No. January 1st, something called the minimal loss ratio begins. And the minimal loss ratio says that if you're an insurance company, we don't care who you are, every insurance company in America, who normally run on a 65-35 margin, which means 65% of their profits, revenue coming in, goes toward claims. 35% goes toward total overhead, which is everybody's job, everybody's payroll, their own employees' health insurance, marketing, commissions, everything they do is 35%. Barack Obama wants it to be 15% by January 1st, 2011. So the insurance companies are saying, that's it, we can't operate on less than half the margin? I can't do it. So we're closing it down. Now, why would he do that? Anybody remember the YouTube video where he talked to the SEIU and he said that my goal is a single-payer healthcare system. We may not get there right away, but we will get there. How do you do that? You destroy private industry. You attack the health insurance industry. And Barack Obama has turned lying into an art form. Let me give you an example. You remember the State of the Union speech when he talked about a gentleman named Otto Raditz out of Downers Grove, Illinois, who, direct quote from our president, had his coverage canceled, his treatment delayed, and he died because of it. That is a direct quote. You can pull it up on YouTube. Let me tell you the truth about Otto Raditz out of Downers Grove, Illinois. He did pass away. He did die of cancer. He didn't have one day lapse in coverage. He was insured by Assurant Health Insurance Company. They found something that was in his medical history that he did not disclose on his application. Under the existing laws, that is insurance fraud. And so they sent him a letter saying that we are going to be rescinding your policy. So Mr. Raditz and his wife went to the State Department of Insurance here in Illinois. They went to the State Attorney General's office. Those two agencies contacted Assurant Health in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Please YouTube this. It's true. Assurant Health said, we're not going to rescind Mr. Raditz's coverage. We understand he needs a bone marrow transplant. They kept his policy in place for 4 more years, paid every claim until he died. But our president tells us a bald-faced lie during the State of the Union speech. So it is these lies about pre-existing conditions, about people who are sick not being able to get health insurance coverage. The reason we have state risk pools in 35 states, the reason we have state guaranteed issue mandates in 10 other states, and we have group insurance abilities in all 50 states, is because the government dropped the ball on HIPAA legislation and left 10% of the American insured, 14 million people, without protection for pre-existing conditions. That's why we have those. So unlike what this administration doesn't understand, what the states did is the states fix it themselves. They exercise their sovereignty as a sovereign state. And they design risk pools to help people who are sick. But now we're not doing that. Everything now is changing. Our goal until November is to stop the appropriations. If we can get at least 70 seats in the House, we can get 10 seats in the Senate, we can stop the 159 new federal agencies that will be funded with $60 billion more of your tax dollars. We can stop the 16,500 new federal IRS agents. $10 billion more of your dollars. By the way, none of that was figured into the health care bill, so they could conveniently keep it under $1 trillion. And please look at what the CBO is saying now. It's funny how the Obama administration just hung on every word the CBO said about the Obamacare bill, because they didn't include trillions of dollars in the cost. But now when the CBO says that our fiscal policy in the United States is unsustainable, nobody's giving any credence to the CBO, because the CBO knows exactly where we're heading. It's exactly where we headed with Romneycare. It is a fiscally unsustainable path. And we are going to add on more people to our rolls in Illinois than we have ever added in history onto our Medicaid system. When Blago was in charge, before he wasn't in charge, Blago expanded Medicaid in the state of Illinois to include a nice program called Moms and Babies. If you've never heard about that, Moms and Babies guarantees that if you're pregnant, you get coverage for the maternity, for the new baby when the baby's born. Then they extended it to family care. So if baby daddy lives in the same place, he gets coverage on the taxpayer for health insurance. So we already have Obamacare Mini-Me here in Illinois under Blago Care. And that has left us, in part, our debt in Illinois is $13 billion. This is a fiscally unsustainable path, and it is where we are heading. So please, every patriot, we should have a lot more people here, but we don't. But those of you who are here, you are the leaders. Go out and tell everybody. Send them to truthaboutobamacare.com. Every lie this president is told. The lies that Melissa Bean told in her letter when she wrote it to the Palatine Tea Party. The response to that is on there as well. Every fact about this legislation. Inform your neighbors. Get them out. And there's one saving grace here, folks, and that is that the MLRs begin January 1st. So people like my clients who are on the board, they're watching Oprah, they're hooked on the hopium, whatever it is, they're not involved in the electoral process. They're getting bills now with a $25,000 deductible. And the first thing they're asking the insurance company is, why is this happening? You know what the insurance company is saying? Ask your elected official. So it's going to get people to the polls in November. So that is our goal. Until then, I thank you for your time. God bless America. Happy birthday, America.
I'd like to open up the topic of healthcare to any questions you might have. We can take about 3 or 4 questions. Please come to the stage. Please come to the stage to ask your question. 2? 1 or 2 more. Hi. You want to come up?
My question is on health care. If we do get enough people elected in Congress and the Senate this November, how do we unravel it? I mean, is it just a judicial order, or how does that happen? Thanks.
Okay, how we do that is we stop the appropriations. That's first. You have to understand that in order for this legislation to go forward, it must be funded with billions more of your tax dollars. And so if we stop the appropriations in November, which means they cannot fund the money needed to hire 16,000 IRS agents to enforce the health care mandate, if we stop the other $60 billion for the 159 new federal agencies, then we have essentially stopped Obamacare until 2012. Then, God willing, we get a conservative president in 2012, and we repeal the whole thing. Now, there are 26 states right now that have legislation pending against the unconstitutionality of Obamacare. God bless every one of those patriots. The great one, Mark Levin and Ken Cuccinelli, have a lawsuit in Virginia that they've crafted together. Strong suit, but the strongest suit is in the state of Florida. In the state of Florida, their suit says that how can it be constitutional for one private industry or private free citizen to force another free citizen to buy a product of any kind just because you're alive? That is the strongest case, and we hope that that one gets to the Supreme Court. The problem is, it's not going to get to the Supreme Court until 2012, 2013 at the earliest. So it is up to us, people, to get out, get our electorate educated, send them the truth about Obamacare, get them educated, and get them out talking to the consumers. Because if we don't stop the appropriations in November, we are in serious, serious trouble. And don't listen to the lies about the American Medical Association supporting Obamacare. The American Medical Association, the people who support it, is 17% of working physicians in this country. Remember that number, 17%. And the vast majority of them are professors. They're not working pediatricians, cardiologists. When I speak with the Walsh campaign, please vote for Joe Walsh. I'm not paid for that. I'm just, Joe Walsh is a patriot. Far better than Melissa Bean. But when I speak with Joe Walsh on his healthcare panels, I'm always with 2 or 3 doctors. And each of those doctors know, because they're every day treating patients, they know exactly how many Medicare cuts are coming to senior citizens. And they are severe. You'll see an entire list of them on truthaboutobamacare.com. So don't buy the lies. The doctors do not support this bill. 17% do. And they have a huge incentive to do so. Look that up. Look up AMA, Wall Street Journal, why they support Obamacare.
We have another question. Can you come up, please? In your $14 million figure, what part would be illegals in the country?